everybody, my name is Ajay Singh, and first of all, Happy New Year 2025. May this new year brings all the happiness, well-being and prosperity. Today we would be talking about electric charges, Coulombs Law. And before we go deep into this topic, first of all, I would like to talk about electromagnetism. Okay, electromagnetism is a branch of physics which deals with study of electromagnetic interaction. So it covers electric charges, magnetic moments and electromagnetic waves. We will be today talking about electric charge, and without taking any further time, let's get in topic. So first question is, what is electric charge? So in the nature we observe that we have electrons, protons within the atoms, right? So every matter in this universe is made up of atoms, and atoms have proton, neutrons and electrons. We know this fact, right? Electrons are negatively charged. It's a convention which we use. So we call electron as negatively charged and protons as positively charged, right? And the reason for having charges in this universe is these electron and protons. The minimum amount of possible charge is the charge on electron, and that value is okay, so I'll write it down, 1.602 into 10 raised to power 19 a unit coulomb. So we have two types of charges, so it's positive and negative, and as we have seen and we have talked about it, it's the convention to denote the charges positive and negative. And what we have observed in nature is that like charges repel each other. So two positively charged particles or two negatively charged particles would repel from each other. There is a force in between them. And two unlike charges, for example positive or negative, they would attract each other. And in a moment we would get to see the magnitude of force, how we can calculate that. Second important thing is that standard unit of charge is coulomb. We have talked about protons and electrons are responsible for all the charges in this universe. The charge of electron or proton is 1.6 into 10 raised to power 19 coulombs. However, I would make it more precise. It is 1.602 into 10 raised to power 19 coulombs. Okay. Also, charges can increase or decrease minimum by the charge on electron or proton. What does it mean? As we know that electrons / protons are responsible for the existence of charges in this universe, hence the minimum possible amount of charge is this 1.602 into 10 raised to power 19 coulombs. Okay, so any charge in this universe can be written in this format. If we consider that value as E positive or E negative, it will be N multiplied by E negative in case of negative charge, or if we denote this value as positive, it can be N multiplied by E positive. N is natural number. Okay, so we call this as quantization of charge. Next is the conservation of charge. So we will talk about this. The charges cannot be created or destroyed for an isolated system. So for an isolated system, if we have say some charge, which say if it is Ne, it will remain Ne forever unless or until it interacts with the external system. So the net charge remains the same for an isolated system. Now further we move to force in between the charges. So we understand that electric charge can be described as the force experienced by a charge in an electric field, and we would soon understand what is electric field. So if we have, so say if we have two charges q1 and q2 placed in space separated by a distance of r, what has been observed is that the forces, so write it down, the force in between these two charges. So we will see, so this is the system which we are talking about. So we have q1 charge and q2 charge separated by a distance of r. So we would see what amount of force or we would see the amount of force and its variation. So what has been observed, it varies inversely to the square of distance between them, which is r. So it is inversely proportional to the r square, and it is directly proportional to the product of charge. Okay, so q1 and q2. So hence we can say that it is proportional to q1 q2 divided by r square, and we can write it as q1 q2 by r square, and we have put this constant. So hence the force is equal to k q1 q2 by r square, and this k is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and this is the Coulombs law. Okay, epsilon naught is known as permittivity of free space, and the value is 8.85 into 10 raised to the minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. This is the formula which is known as Coulombs law. In our next lecture, we would be understanding about the direction of forces on this charge system, and we would also talk about some of the complex charge systems where we have 3 charges or more, how to solve those kind of problems. We would also get some understanding about basic vector algebra, so that we can solve complex problems. With this, I'll wrap this up for today. Thank you very much for watching.